Welcome to episode number 43 of the Casual Movie Club. It's me, your good friend John, and of course we have...
Brian!
Hey Brian, and
what's
we
up, buddy?
also have a special guest. It's so much fun. Everybody say hello to Tina.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Tina. Hello.
Welcome. We have a very special guest, Tina, in the studio with us today. And we had to bring Tina on because we did such a fun movie.
It was very fun.
It's a fun movie.
I did not have as much fun as I thought I was going to have, but it was still a fun movie.
Well, because we all weren't drinking, there's more fun. This is a drinking movie.
I had fun.
Yes.
I mean,
For adults, you have to put a drinking game with this movie, and it's really fun.
yeah.
Like, for example, how many times they say the word virgin.
True.
Yeah, about a dozen times.
Yeah.
At
yeah.
least.
Yeah, at least.
At least. And how big of a... Well, we'll get into more of that, but how big of a deal Danny makes about her brother being a virgin.
Oh,
and
yeah.
who she tells, oh, by the way, he's a virgin. Like, she tells the cop.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We are talking about the hokiest of hokiest movies from 1993. Hocus Pocus.
Come on, it's a Disney movie in 93. You knew it was going to be hokey.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it was going to be that hokey.
I warned you ahead of time.
I was not surprised. It was what I expected. And I had seen a good portion of this movie before. I've never sat down and watched it start to finish. I realized I recognize a lot of the parts, and it's mostly from like seeing it on TV around this time of year, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I've never sat down and watched it start to finish. I didn't know about the beginning. I didn't know how it ended. But there was like big chunks throughout the middle that I've seen before.
I was waiting for it to end.
We know. We saw your face. Your typing just stopped and you were done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the I was wondering where that amok thing was from, and that was funny.
Yeah.
So usually in the beginning of these, we'll go around and by around I mean back and forth. But how did we all like this movie? So let's start with you, Tina. How did you like this movie?
Okay, so I'm probably going to be the odd man out in the room, which I'm almost out of the room. But
There's only so much room in the studio.
Exactly. They put me in the doorway, everybody. I'm in the doorway. Anyway. Okay, so I've seen this movie more than once, and I know it's hokey, and I like it for the hokey and the lightheartedness. So I actually like this movie for a fun, just grab the comedy where it's at, because I love Bette Midler. I adore Bette Midler.
Yeah.
And I think she did a fantastic job as this hokey witch.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought she was great. But, I mean, there's parts of it I don't like. I actually like the witches were the best.
Yeah.
They were hands down the best. The kids in the movie,
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I like the movie knowing that it's supposed to be hokey and fun and a 1993 Disney, 90s Disney wholesome family crap. Right? You go in, you go in knowing that, and you can have fun with the movie. And again, especially if you make it a drinking game,
Yes.
which, we may have to do another night.
Yes.
I would like that.
Yeah, and
me too.
And we'd have to make a drinking game out of it. And it's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we opted not to drink because of the copious drinking we did yesterday.
Well, two of you guys decided not to drink.
Right.
Yeah, there was.
So,
I've been throwing them back throughout the whole movie.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can see you got that glow going right now.
Yeah. Brian's feeling real good.
Feeling nice.
He's feeling real good.
Feeling great.
So, Brian, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was a decent movie. Now, this is not for me. I am not the target audience for this.
Yeah.
But I thought the witches turned in a great performance. Sarah Jessica Parker, great performance. Bette Midler, great performance. Who was the other witch?
Kathy Najimy. Yeah.
Great.
You sure you haven't been drinking?
Kathy Najimy.
It's Najimy or Najimy?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, let me just.
Yeah.
They were great. The kids, not so much.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, even the older girl wasn't great.
She looked like she was at least, what, 16, 17?
Something in she
Yeah.
looked older than the virgin dude. Max.
Actually, it's like the youngest kids did the best.
Yeah.
That the tweens and teens are.
I thought the movie was generally good though, and despite it not being my kind of movie and like not really being into it or interested, I appreciate the performances. I appreciate it for what it is. So I can't dog it like up and down. Not for me again, but I liked. I generally liked the movie.
John. Uh-oh.
Hated it.
I did not like it.
Any redeeming qualities?
It was better than The Craft. But
Well, that's not
by
hard
much.
though. I
That's
mean,
not-
I could make
yeah.
a movie better than The Craft with a camcorder.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
Shot on iPhone.
yeah.
exactly.
On iPhone 6. No, I agree with a lot of what you said, Brian. It's definitely not I'm not the target audience for this. But I know that a lot of people quote the movie, and it is fun. I will totally concede to that. Is this something that I would sit and watch every Halloween? Probably not. It's something now I can say I've seen it, but it's not a movie that I would rank high on my list of my favorites.
But it is a movie that does have a lot of quotable pieces that you can pull out and have fun with. I mean, the amok.
Yeah,
and, she hurt my feelings, and
Yeah.
we'll go into all that.
I'd have to watch it a couple more times.
Yeah, me
because
too.
there was the parts you guys laughed at were like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a little funny. But again, this movie's geared towards parents and children.
Yeah, it's
And
a family movie.
It has grown in popularity over
a
time.
lot. The past 10 years, it has really taken off.
And
And mainly the 5
this?
years.
Would you say this is like a cult classic?
It's
Yes.
becoming a cult. The past 5 or 10 years, it's really become a cult classic. Here in Austin, I think I told you, Kathy Najimy was here in town.
Yeah.
Because Alamo had a screening at the Long Center. She was here in town and did a witch contest. It was a quote-along movie party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was here in town and did talks. It's a huge thing. So,
nice.
and like I said, it's been the past 5 years as a drive-in movie theater
Yeah.
here in Austin that does screenings of it every year. Alamo's doing it, like I said, as a movie party.
Yeah.
And it's been mainly the past 5 years, it all of a sudden came back. And I think it's because the people that were kids in 93
Yeah, they're
now have
parents
their
now.
own
Yeah,
kids.
now that
Right.
their kids
And so now it's coming
introduce
back around. I think you're going to start seeing more and more movies like that from the 90s
That's cool.
that
I
are going to
really like
start
that.
coming back
Yeah.
because those that were kids in the 90s, I was a teenager in the 90s, but
Sure.
you're going to start seeing those come back now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the 80s stuff, and the 60s was coming back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it all goes around. It's generational. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I've seen costumes like as recently as a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Of people still trios dressing as the Sanderson sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still alive.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's not my favorite movie, but it was fine.
I wasn't expecting you to like rave about it.
I
Yeah.
thought
I
you would have liked it more than you do.
If I was drinking, I think I would have.
Yeah.
You would have giggled more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start the I'm not gonna say I'm gonna shit on the movie too much.
No, do it. Don't hold back.
Yeah, you haven't before,
You want
so
some
go ahead.
X-Lax?
What?
Wait till the lake house,
Time traveling mailbox.
I can't wait.
You are definitely coming back for that
Okay.
wait.
Oh, goody.
one. Yeah. So what the fuck was up with Bette Midler's teeth? I hated those teeth.
The buck teeth?
Every time I saw her on the screen, she looked like a bunny. Like, oh my God, the teeth, they annoyed me.
There's the lipstick job too that accentuated them. Like she
Oh,
did
God.
just the center
Yeah.
lipstick and just
Oh,
like
God.
thin around her.
But the lipstick was actually, if you think about it, her whole ensemble was a throwback to the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland. The
know
hairstyle,
that.
the lipstick.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's kind of the whole Queen of Hearts, evil queen, powerful.
She did have that affair with that dude, and Sarah, her sister, took.
Yeah, so it's kind of, like I said, the whole hairstyle, if you look at it, is the Alice in Wonderland Queen of Hearts. Again, the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland.
Sure.
The Queen of Hearts had the red heart hairstyle and the lipstick like that.
But she didn't have the buck teeth, right?
No, but that's a witch thing.
Oh, is it?
Buck teeth and warts and just what are things that are considered ugly.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of took like quintessential witch combined with Queen of Hearts.
Makes sense.
So that's what I think her character
Yeah,
is.
but they were extremely distracting to me. Like they were like chiclets in the front of her mouth.
I didn't hate it. It was distracting at times, but
Yeah.
I
Like,
thought it was fine.
She had that. Kathy Najimy was speaking out of one side of her mouth.
Yeah, she had that funky lip. Yeah.
Which was kind of distracting to me. And then Sarah Jessica Parker was just a ditz.
Which was perfect for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get Three Stooges vibes
Well,
from
yeah.
Yes.
the trio?
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I could think about whenever they were
Yeah.
together
Yeah, the
interacting.
woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every now and then, like they'd be hitting each other and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
The three of them had great chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it.
That's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah.
the best part of the movie,
Yeah.
hands down. And I'm not a huge, if you can tell, I'm not a huge Sarah Jessica Parker fan. So her playing a ditz, like I said, kind of perfect for me.
I'm not a fan of her either, and I really only know her from the Sex and the City stuff. A couple
Which I've actually never seen.
roles here and there. We need to do Sex and the City 2 on this podcast. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right. We're tabling this.
Right.
Yes,
We're
yes.
tabling this.
For the I do not like Sex and the City, the whole franchise. I despise it.
I don't either. And that's
I
coming
don't
from,
either.
Either?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I know.
It's,
But that's why you want to watch it.
well, for the show.
Yeah, okay,
Just for, he's a secret fan.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
He's a secret fan.
Yeah, he's a
He is.
closeted.
He is.
Yeah.
I've never seen a single episode of the show.
He says that.
I'm saying that. I'm telling you, I've never seen it at all.
I've watched 1 or 2 episodes of that show, and basically just hated the whole experience.
I didn't even get past the intro. I was done.
You both have seen more than me.
Okay.
I've never seen any of it. I've seen trailers of the movies.
Okay.
And the trailer to the second one.
Sorry, I can't play trailers on it.
Shut up.
See, Siri's not into it either.
Nope. Siri says no.
But
Nope.
all that to say,
Yeah.
I enjoyed Sarah Jessica Parker in this, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
shocked at how. Yeah, I was shocked at my reaction to her.
yeah, her playing a ditzy blonde, I don't know how far out of character that really was. I don't know how much acting went into that.
Oh, you should see L.A. Story. L.A. Story with her and Steve Martin. So funny. Because she is she's like a hardcore ditz in that movie.
Like ditzier than this. She can't
Yeah.
be ditzier than this.
Oh no, trust me. She's
Ditzier than this. She's
ditzier than this.
She
yes.
could barely function. She could. barely
She couldn't
hold
even
a conversation.
walk.
Yeah.
Like she
Yes.
danced. She couldn't walk.
She okay. And what was up with their walk? Like when they walked together.
That was
did
just
that a couple times. And
Yeah.
what was the point of that?
just to be silly. It's a hokey movie. It's
It's
hokey.
to be silly,
was-
but
yeah.
There was probably half a dozen things I wrote in my notes that you can probably explain as it's a hokey movie.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not an acceptable blah, 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 blah. That's not an
another
acceptable
one.
answer.
Have another one.
That's not an acceptable answer, though. Just because you want to be hokey does not excuse.
it
just-
was. I think it was their attempt at having the witches hunt, but not hunt to a part that's going to actually scare children because it's Disney in the 90s.
But there were some things in this movie that were downright dark.
They were, but you had to
And
be old
creepy.
enough.
Yeah.
But you had to be old enough to get it. Think about like an 8 or 9-year-old watching this movie with their parents. They're going to miss half of the creepy, dark stuff because it was at an adult level.
I mean, when
they-
they showed hanging. Number 1.
yeah,
Number 2, the copious.
They kind of showed.
They showed
that.
feet.
They
Right.
yeah.
But
They showed
it's
feet.
pretty.
It's
pretty
heavily
obvious.
implied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed that the copious amount of the copious use of the word virgin.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's bad. Just because you can't just ignore sex altogether.
Yeah.
True.
Everyone knows what virgin.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's,
Right.
it's in the pop culture.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What about Thackeray's accent?
What about Thackeray's name?
Well, that's an old name.
It sounded like Zachary. So, like, you
That's an
call
old
Zachary
name.
Zach, so would you call him Thack?
No, that's
What up, Thack?
it's actually a very old English name.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Hey, what
it's a
up,
legit
Thack?
name.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a legit name.
It sounded ridiculous.
Be like
every time they
Mike
said.
Tyson naming him.
Well, yeah, but I
What
mean,
up, Thack?
well, for names of for example, Tiffany is actually a name from the Renaissance, but they don't use it because people think of it as a modern name. But Tiffany was actually a nickname for another formal name, so it's from the Renaissance.
Oh.
Yeah, there were women in the Renaissance named Tiffany. It was a nickname,
But it wasn't
for
spelled
another
like
one.
Tiphani.
No, it wasn't that. But it was. But that's what I'm saying. There's names that like Thackeray is.
Yeah.
It's a real name. It's an older
it
name.
it didn't make it to modern times though.
It did
and-
not. That was the one that did not.
Right.
I mean, Winifred isn't exactly a modern name either.
No.
so.
It's not, but you do have like Winnie and you hear
Only
you
if their
hear
parents hate themselves or their child. I mean, that's just a bad name.
I don't know. What was the
It was Winifred, Mary,
And Sarah.
and
Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I found it funny that Sarah Jessica Parker was
Sarah.
playing a
Yeah.
character named
What was
Sarah.
the Fred Savage show? Wonder Years?
Yeah.
His the girl he
That was
liked.
Winnie.
That was Winnie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Winifred.
Yeah. So definitely some cringeworthy lines in this.
Oh, yeah.
In this, I one of the ones I wrote down. We desire children, and the guy goes, the bus driver's like, well, it may take me a couple of tries, but
That was real creepy.
That was
Yeah.
that was just creepy. Like it went creepy too long.
Yeah, I don't know if that was
Yeah.
dark, but that was over the top. That was the worst joke, and
Yeah.
by worst I mean like creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hello, molester. Like bleh.
The way she delivered that line too, like he's got.
Children.
We have the context because we've been following the girls around
Right.
as they've been
Yeah.
hunting children.
Right.
But this bus driver, no context, opens the door and she just like, oh, we're looking for children.
desire
We desire children.
Yeah. We desire children. Gross. You're not getting on my bus.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but he was all for it. All three. He didn't care.
yeah,
He was all good.
he
I
was
was
a
like,
horn
ugh.
dog.
Cancel that guy.
Ugh.
Cancel that guy.
And then Sarah Jessica Parker in his lap while they're driving. That whole scene just reeked of just Lord.
Oh,
It just
man.
creepy. If I had a bus driver like that, I'd walk. Like no.
But also when a bus driver opens the door, you wouldn't look at him and say you desire children.
This is true. I don't know. It depends on how cute he is. But if he's single, I don't know.
But
Yeah.
you still don't lead off with I desire children. You never lead off with that.
So that's what I'm doing wrong dating.
Yeah.
Damn it. Thanks, Brian.
Anytime. It's one of the many services I provide.
That's right.
Yeah, we need to get off this line of questions.
Casual Movie Club is the best podcast about movies and dating advice.
Let's talk about when the witches first come back, and Max jumps up and lights the lighter and rains the death.
Oh, he's Miracle Max.
Oh
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
what's up with let's light up a lighter in this cobwebby thing? That's not safe at all.
I was expecting those cobwebs to light up.
Me too.
And
Yeah, I
start
was too.
burning the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he goes up to the sprinkler system, so this is an abandoned museum.
Right.
Right?
The other, and I'm sorry to cut you off. The other thing I took issue with was, I bought a Zippo lighter about a year ago.
Sure.
And I was surprised that it had been sitting. It sat for maybe a month or so, and then I used it. It didn't work. I had to put the fluid in.
You can get maybe a week out of it. If you soak
Right.
the cotton just
Right.
like through
Yeah.
and through,
Right.
you'll maybe have
Yeah,
it
so
last
that lighter
a week.
should not have
Exactly.
worked.
So like when he picked that lighter up, that thing should have just.
And not
With
only
nothing.
that, but the way that he's lighting it,
Yeah.
doing the roll across his jeans.
The
that shit's hard.
Right.
It's
That is
difficult.
And
not
how is
easy.
how is a 14 or 15-year-old kid
Know
supposed
how
to
to
know
do
that?
that?
Especially
And
one
he's
who doesn't smoke.
Right. He's a goody two shoes
Yeah.
from California. He doesn't
Yeah.
smoke.
And I mean, he's that proficient at it. He does it like 8 times in the movie, where he's like flicking this lighter and
He
lighting
does
it
the one
against
hand
his
open,
jeans.
too.
The one hand open,
Yeah.
the flip close, the light against the jeans. That shit's hard.
Yeah.
And not to burn the crap out of yourself. But he gets it like on one try. No.
Yeah.
No, you'd be sitting
I
there
call
going,
bullshit.
Flick, flick, flick. Yeah. So anyway.
I
so,
call
bullshit.
all right. So
Go ahead.
now we're to the sprinklers. Yes.
So have you guys ever been in a scenario where
Yes.
a sprinkler water has come down?
Yes.
And
it's brown. It
it's-
stinks.
yes.
It's disgusting.
Yes.
And that's if you flush it every month, because it sits in pipes.
and it just
And
gets
that-
stagnant.
And if it's been sitting for years,
300 years?
no, well,
No,
Oh,
well,
that-
it was
sprinkler
a museum.
system.
No.
It was a museum.
So
and,
even a year, it's gonna be mud.
yes.
It's gonna be disgusting.
And he's just there, sitting there, like reveling in it, like, yeah, I tricked these witches.
He would have smelled like a garbage fire.
at best.
Right. I mean, and he pulled one over on them numerous times.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
that time.
The lighter and then the headlights.
The headlights. He tricked them again. I feel like he tricked him a third time, but like before the headlights.
Yeah. Didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, with the
Oh my.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, he's sleepy.
Oh my.
sorry. No, the movie just put me to sleep, but
Oh,
no.
don't blame the movie. It was
No.
the alcohol last night.
yeah, that too.
Actually, this morning.
The no, he tricked them into the furnace at the school.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Which we need to come back to that because I
we
take
need
major
to
issue
yeah,
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Yeah.
The kiln.
The
Yes.
kiln.
Yes.
So I take so this cat, this Thackeray.
Binks. Call him Binks.
Let's call him Binks.
Yeah,
I like that.
Binks.
So when he was first turned into a cat, he was meowing all over the place, running
Yeah.
all over the place.
Right.
Why couldn't he talk to his parents?
Yes.
Yeah.
At what
Yeah.
point did he teach himself to talk?
Well, he had 300 years, so
Yeah.
you know.
Lots can happen in 300 years.
I guess you're just in the crypts, just like vocalizing until you put words together.
I don't know.
And then he's speaking like he's not using the these and thous and the old time English. He's using phrases that are modern. What did he say? I wrote it down somewhere. I can't find it. But
Yeah.
Allison's first reaction to this is, "Oh, you can talk, so the legends are true." That's your first reaction to a talking cat? Like, what?
But and she just accepted it so
She accepted
so
it.
quickly. Like,
Everyone accepted it.
you can
Well-
talk. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, everybody did. Max was the only one that was like, it can talk. Like,
Yeah, it can talk. It's a talking cat.
I'd be thinking how much money I could make off a talking cat.
I know.
Yeah.
But his
I've
accent.
got more to say about this cat.
Oh, please go ahead.
Okay,
so
please.
this cat.
Oh, he's
when-
settling in, folks. Just letting you know. He's getting comfortable in his chair, so this might take a while.
So this cat gets run over by a bus, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he
The creepy bus driver.
The creepy bus
Yeah.
driver runs him over, and the cat comes back. He inflates,
Reinflates, yeah.
reinflates, comes back to life, and he's like, "Oh, I hate it when that happens," which
How
implies
many times have you gotten hit by a
exactly.
bus?
How many times have you not only been hit by a bus, but how many
Killed.
times have you died?
Yeah.
Have you tried to kill yourself?
Well, cats have 9 lives, so
Well, he was immortal, though.
He's
until-
immoral. Yeah, he
it's
can't
the curse,
die.
yeah.
right.
Like, I'm curious, like, how many did this cat, like, try to kill himself a bunch of times? He just couldn't take it. It's 300 years of this cat just, like, hanging around Salem,
Learning how to talk.
learning how to talk. But, like, and an immortal cat is just, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
And okay, why did it have to be a black cat? I mean, really, come on.
Well, I mean,
What you got against black cats? Come on. Come on.
I don't have anything against
I love
cats.
black cats.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorites.
I like all cats,
Yeah,
personally.
I do too.
I'm allergic.
Ah, boo.
Yeah. What you got anything else on the cat?
I guess not. No. It's
Oh, you
so
will later.
weird.
The cat's out of the bag.
There's actually okay. So anyway, I won't go into the history of that phrase, but we'll move on.
Okay. So that party that everybody went to.
Madonna.
The obligatory dance
Yeah.
Right.
band performance party at every
Yeah.
teen movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the
But it was the parents and not the teens, so it was different.
right.
Sure.
The mom's Madonna costume
Yeah.
was a little that
I liked it.
So many things in this movie were so not Disney, or like not the Disney I'd
Of
expect.
all of the quintessential Madonna costumes up until then, to pick the most sexualized, I mean, like the bullet boobs. Come on, I mean, these were the cone boobs. Really,
Right.
there were other ones. There were other at this time. There were other iconic.
93, 94?
Yeah, there were other. I mean, you could have done the '80s punk rock Madonna.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Madonnas that she could have done.
Well, by '93, it wasn't
'Cause
as,
when-
as
Was that in
much.
Vogue? Was that in Vogue?
That was Vogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
When was I mean? I'm trying to think of. For some reason now my thought is escaping me. So forget it.
But no, I mean, you could have done Material Girl,
Yeah.
which is more,
was
you know,
more
Marilyn
80s.
Monroe-ish. Yeah, that was 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have done the 80s punk rock, pop rock Madonna.
Right.
I mean, that
Vogue was current, though.
Vogue was current, but it was also not. I mean, there were cones on her boobs, sticking them out like a foot from her chest.
She was at an adult party, though. There were no
but this
children
is a Disney movie.
Right.
It's a Disney movie, but there's adults in this Disney movie.
But there were other more. Yeah, that kind of struck me odd too. Of all the Madonna things that you could have chosen,
It did stand out because she was the only modern pop culture reference. Everyone
Yeah.
else was like a monster.
Yeah, the Mummy, Dracula.
Yeah.
You like
Did you
the dad
notice
joke.
any other costumes that weren't modern?
There were the Supremes. I don't know if you saw them.
I
No.
did not see. Oh, in the
In the red dress
Yes,
with the boa.
right,
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't see them.
It was during the witch's number when they were on.
They were just on
stage.
the side. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like a quick cut to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody else there's a mummy and Frankenstein and
Yeah, it was mostly
that
monsters.
crocodile. That
I saw
weird-
the crocodile.
that weird crocodile on its knees dancing with a little girl, and then, are you my mom? It's
like-
no, it stood up.
Stood up, no.
Stood up. I was like,
Walked away.
okay.
What are you doing?
Cool.
Yeah. And how did the Sanderson sisters know to go to that specific party at that place?
I think I got this one.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, one of the sisters smelled Ice's feet.
Yes.
And then got the scent.
shoes.
And then the shoes.
Remember,
Oh.
they
The
were
cross
Max's
trainers that were
shoes.
stolen in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's hilarious to me that Max got his shoes stolen like early in the movie.
Right. But he got him back.
He did get him
But
back.
they had
yeah.
already been on somebody else's sweaty, nasty feet. Did you see Ice? He was
That's
dirty.
common. That is common. If you wear nice shoes, especially Jordans,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
you walk down the wrong neighborhood, they'll take your shoes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've never actually worn a pair of those.
I've worn a pair, but
Yeah.
they're just sneakers.
Shoes.
They're just sneakers.
You buy the name. You don't buy the.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing special about
Yeah.
wearing them other than the name. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that's how they got there, is following Max's scent, because
Yes.
it started at the
Okay.
shoes,
The shoe.
and then
Yeah.
Okay.
You would think that if Ice has been wearing them all damn day, that Max's scent would be off them at some point.
In theory.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into this.
I don't know. What do you got, Tina?
What do I have?
What do you have?
You know. Okay, so first of all, you gotta kind of love the teenage angst in this thing. I mean,
God.
they play that up. You know, this movie was geared towards teens
Uh-huh.
because the amount of angst,
Oh God.
just
Yeah.
it was factored in. It was awful.
It was of
it
the
was
time.
manufactured, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the time of boy bands. Let's just put it
Right.
that way. Okay.
What's your costume?
And
Are you a
grunge.
new kid on the block?
Yeah.
Disaffected youth.
Yeah, this is grunge, boy bands.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
a lot of angstiness. But the shade that Allison throws Max when she gives him back his phone number, that
That was beautiful.
That
Oh, it
was,
was.
I was like,
so well.
damn,
Good
girl,
for
I
you,
wish
girl.
I wish I would have thought of that when I was your age. Not
was
that I got a lot of boys'
so
phone numbers, but
That was
Smooth.
cold.
that was cold, but that was
So well done.
Yeah.
And of course she's like, trick or treat, you know, and like it's.
Yeah.
I almost thought that she was giving him her number.
I'd seen it before, so I knew. But
Right.
yeah,
I was so impressed with him like having the balls to
That
go up to
was
her
smooth.
Yeah.
and give
That was-
her his number
In the middle
Love
of
it.
class.
In the middle
Right.
of class.
there are no teenage boys.
ballsy.
There are no
None.
teenage boys.
Don't exist.
No.
But then she turned it back around, and that touche, Allison.
That was I'll give her credit for that, but so there was that. So that one I was like, okay, I did want to say this, and I said this as we were watching the movie. Okay, here's a kid that's a new transplant from LA. Late October in Salem, Massachusetts. He's in pretty much a light jacket, bare feet. He should be freezing his ass off.
He got his shoes stole.
Yeah.
It is fucking cold in Salem, Massachusetts at the end of October.
Yeah.
You'll be lucky if you don't have like snow flurries starting.
You know what? I'm gonna actually look up what the weather is.
It's a hell of a lot colder than LA.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. So how the hell is this kid not freezing his ass off?
Right now,
Like it makes no sense.
right now, it's 51 degrees in Salem.
This is a warm year for them. Then.
Today it went up to 54 as the high, low of 49.
What's the wind chill though?
I don't know. It's not showing me where I'm
Okay.
looking at this. But
And then what's LA?
LA?
Oh,
Yeah.
LA's got to be like
LA's in the mid
70.
70s, 75 probably,
Yeah.
at least.
Okay. LA weather currently 71. Today's high was 77, low of 57.
Yeah.
So he
there-
would have been freezing his nuts off.
Exactly.
Yes.
But he's riding his bike with the wind blowing.
Yeah.
No shoes on and a light jacket, no gloves.
Yeah.
His face isn't even red. Come on, people.
Right.
Come on.
And then he gets home, and his parents are like, "Oh, he's got no shoes
Yeah.
on. Oh, it must be like some foreign protest."
Yeah, and don't even check on him.
Don't
Yeah.
even check
What
on him.
parents do that?
Yeah.
Like, where the hell are your $200 shoes
How
that
is-
were brand new?
How was your day?
Yeah. Yeah. Where are your shoes?
Yeah. By the way, his room was cool. I
Yeah.
liked that little like staircase that went up to
Yeah, kind of the lighthouse.
That
like
little
the,
loft or something.
observation pod
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
The fuck. That was
Yeah.
cool. Did they
okay.
share the room? Or
No.
that- okay.
No.
That
No.
was just his
No,
room.
Because he told her to stay out of his.
That's right.
room.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But yeah. So and
But for budget cuts, it was the one room in the house you saw.
good on him for picking the room with the lighthouse.
Yeah,
bit, 'cause
it's
that's
the
cool.
That's cool.
like the little tower. So, did anybody else think that Jay and Ernie were like a throwback to Jay and Silent Bob?
No.
No.
Really? Like you didn't get the Jay and Silent Bob vibe off them a little bit?
I mean, kind of, but they were both twits.
Well, yeah, but
Was Clerks out at this point?
I don't
93?
know.
Right, but
I don't know.
Would Disney do that though?
Disney would do that.
yeah, if they
Disney
could, if they
would
could make
reference
money off
something.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, if they could reference something that's in the zeitgeist, they would do it.
But kind of, I
zeitgeist.
mean, they
The
were
spirit
ditzy.
of the times.
Yeah, but they were but kind of like young versions of Jay and Silent Bob.
That's an interesting parallel.
It just kind of struck me.
I think
I
Ernie,
guess the coloration.
Well, Ernie was too
Not Ernie. Ice.
ice.
It was
I apologize.
It was carved into. Well, it was
ridiculous.
it was shorn into the back of his head.
Yeah.
It's fucked up his whole head.
Ice is back with a brand new invention.
Well, and that's the thing I was gonna say is Vanilla Ice was big around this time. so
Yeah, that's
ice,
immediately what I thought of. Like he was dressed like close enough to Vanilla Ice that.
Yeah.
Kind of, but
But because Ice was acting the way he was, that just I could not see. He was not very Silent Bob-ish.
yeah, that was the one. But I think Jay was.
Jay was definitely
Jay.
channeling Jay.
Yeah.
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 Even the name. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those fingerless gloves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
And of course they had to put like the kid from California the first time you see him in fucking tie dye.
Yeah.
Really?
Like how stereotypical. I mean, seriously, come on, come on.
put him in a Billabong shirt or a
We're
tank
not.
top or
We're not
something.
in the '80s. I mean, it's not like you're from Cali, so all you wear is tie dye.
Yeah.
You know what the hell?
Yeah.
So a couple of things. I guess I'm gonna go kind of through the movie that I saw.
Yeah.
So no chain on the gates. How the hell did they get into this museum in this old historic house?
Yeah.
I know Massachusetts well. Historic homes, you'd be surprised there weren't guard dogs and cops around a historic home. Seriously?
Especially being shut down for however long it is.
And an old museum.
Right.
Yeah.
Really? How did they get in?
Right.
And in the cemetery, what cemetery do you know does not have gates on or locks on the damn gate at night?
Well, that, and also, remember when the witches first got there, like Sarah was trying to open the door as if it was locked, open the gate as if it was locked, but
They just went in.
Max and company just walked right through the door.
I mean, yeah,
right through the gate.
yeah. So I'm like, whoa, there's some inconsistencies there on how they get through things.
Yeah.
Right.
That
And so now, as far as that being like hallowed ground,
Yeah.
the witches couldn't set foot on there, but they
Right.
could hover above it.
Yes.
yeah.
So where is the statute of limitations
It's physical.
for?
It's physical contact.
touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's
they could.
that goes to the same thing with the whole supernatural community. So if you look at werewolves and vampires and
Yeah.
all of that, zombies are like the only ones that can because they come from the museum,
Yeah.
or from the cemetery. So
Here's something for you, though. Hallowed ground,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect the witches unless they stand on it.
Right.
Right?
right,
However, spells and everything else are unaffected as long as you're within a ring of salt. Correct?
Right.
yes.
Where's the statute? Where how high do you need to go before the salt is unaffected?
It's not. The ring of salt is kind of it
just goes up.
It just goes.
infinity.
Yeah. You cannot.
It's a cone of safety.
Yeah. It's like a little box. You can't penetrate it.
What if I just go over, like look
No,
right down on top of
you can't. You can't get into. It's
like
like a bubble.
It's like an invisible barrier.
It's a bubble.
But I can't like go over you, like
It's a
even
bubble.
high up.
It's a bubble. You can't get through that barrier at all.
What if I just like fly up through the stratosphere?
No.
Just like
no, it's a bubble.
Just like
It's
leave
a bubble.
that goes
Damn
up.
it, Brian.
That goes up and forever into
you-
infinity.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what about if you left the planet and then moved over?
No, it's a bubble.
What if you go under it?
It's a bubble.
Oh,
It's all around.
couldn't tunnel underneath.
No.
What if some Chinese witches were flying around and then I can't fly over this all of a
Okay.
sudden?
Okay, so I wanna just kind of get past this. Oh my god.
Yeah, please,
So there
because
were,
I will
yeah,
keep going.
I know. So there were a couple of really good lines in the movie. Okay, some of my favorite lines, Kathy Najimy and the Shishka baby.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't remember
Shishka
this.
baby.
Shishka baby.
Yeah, that was when they had Danny, and she went Shishka baby. She laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were hungry.
Yeah.
Shishka baby. Okay. Anyway, and of course the amok.
Yeah.
That's like. But I think my favorite part of that line is the amok.
Hits her in the gut.
Yeah. And then you've got, I think my all-time favorite line out of this whole movie is Billy. When he goes, "You buck-toothed, mop-riding firefly from hell." That is my favorite line.
Is that like his first sentence after he?
Yes, that's the first thing. Well, I think he tells her to shut up or something
Yeah,
like that.
wench. Calls her wench. Yeah.
Wench.
Yes.
That's the first thing he says.
Yeah.
But the first sentence he says is, "You buck-toothed, mop-riding firefly from hell."
300 years been waiting for this.
Yes. That is a 300-year worth wait. I mean, that's
worth the wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this, I think, was the first movie I've ever seen a good zombie.
Yeah, he
You
was
know?
a good zombie.
Yeah.
He really was.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was a pretty nice guy.
Good zombie.
Oh, a good.
Yeah.
A good
No.
zombie.
A
Not-
zombie for the forces.
For the forces of good, not
I
actually
understand. I understand.
well done zombie.
Yeah, no, he was
Right.
his makeup and everything was cheesy as hell.
Oh, he was. Yeah. Again,
was-
hokey movie.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney. Can't
Yeah,
make
but
him too
Disney's got
scary.
money.
But you can't make him too scary.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, little kids are gonna be watching this.
Okay, so I gotta talk. Do you want to talk about the ending?
Let's
Okay,
talk
well-
about the ending. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wait,
hold on.
wait, wait, wait,
Before we
wait,
get to
wait.
ending, talk about hokey. So the one part I love this movie, I really do. Okay, but the one part of this movie that I can't stand, they press the whole "I love my sister, hold on to your family" too much.
Yes.
Like they forced it in there.
Well, that you mean Max and Danny, or the three Sanderson sisters?
No, not the Sanderson sisters, but talking about how like the conversation Brian, you and I like looked at each other like, what the hell? The conversation like after they burn the sisters, and then they're coming back, and Binks is in the tree, and he and Max have to stop and have that heart-to-heart conversation about how much Binks misses his sister and how Max needs to cherish his sister and sister love, yay! You know, and they did that like 4 or 5 times in the movie. There were these like little monologues or dialogues that happen about that, specifically about how much they love their sisters. And I'm sorry, I have an older sister and I do love my older sister, but growing up, we were so different. We hated each other. Yeah, it's like, I love you too because I have to. I mean, really, when I was 14 and she was 18, we had nothing in common.
Yeah.
Binks was on the tree branch, and Max goes up to him and he's like, you miss your sister, don't you?
Yeah.
She's been dead for 300 years, and I've been, as a cat, this whole time, learning how to talk, trying to kill myself. I can't die.
Yeah. But that's what you say to me.
Not to mention, didn't it seem like Binks, what up, Thack? Didn't it seem like he was kind of pining over Emily, his sister?
It kind of weird, like almost loverish.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that saw that.
That's what I'm saying. They kind of shoved it down your throat to a point that it got creepy.
It didn't feel like familial love after a while.
It was like
star-crossed lover Romeo and Juliet shit.
Right, but that's some dark incest.
Oh my God, the look on Brian's face right now.
That's your sister.
He just like chewed into something rotten. Look on his face.
It's her sister, man.
Yeah. It's just no.
Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all.
All right, we ready for numbers, or we got anything else? Oh no,
the ending.
Well, the ending, but 1 second, I wanted to go back for just a brief moment.
Yeah.
When they thought they killed the sisters by bringing them into the oven.
Yes.
The kiln.
They burned the sisters. Their little smoke went up and everything. Why did they come back? How did they come back?
Because it was the curse. It was the spell that Winifred did. They can't die that night.
They only die the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
That was the whole
they could have been burned. They could have been blown up. They could have had their heads chopped off. They could have been hanged again, but they would come directly back because they have that 12-hour, that night.
Right.
To
till the sun comes up the next day. Yeah.
Okay. Because that was going to be another thing I wrote down. You know, if it only worked on Halloween night, Halloween ends at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, no, it was until the sun came up.
Okay.
Yeah, until the sun came up.
And that kind of closes a potential plot hole. Well, what if somebody lights this candle anyway and they're a virgin? It's got to be on Halloween night. It's got to be full moon.
Right.
Like all of these specific things have to be.
And that's why it didn't happen for 300 years.
Right.
You know, but
because some airhead version didn't light it.
That's right.
Like, how many historians do you know who are virgins?
A lot. Anyway, but you notice it didn't say a virgin child. They kind of assumed it was going to be a teenager.
Really? Like
the movie kind of like it always pressed that it was going to be a teenager or a child that lights the candle. I know a few adults that are virgins late in life.
Yeah,
it happens.
I did too.
Me too.
But I don't think Disney wanted to go there.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, because
it's just kind of
raises some uncomfortable questions.
Yeah.
But of course, it was a kid that was under 18.
Yeah.
But
which would have been weird if he wasn't a virgin at that age.
No, I don't think it's that weird.
No.
I don't think it's that weird.
No.
I mean,
no.
in the movie, it would have been weird, and of course,
it's a Disney movie. Of course, it would have been weird.
Kids are going to say, "Mom, what's a virgin?"
Okay, so you just keyed something else. Okay, so the end of the movie, not towards the end of the movie, after they kill the witches and they go back to Max's house, and 2 teenagers are gonna fall asleep in each other's arms and not do anything. Come on,
So sweet.
It's a Disney movie.
it's a Disney movie, but come on,
but
reality.
the scene
Think back when you
before,
were 14.
They were about to make out, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
They were
They're
about to make
kiss.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
And-
now they're gonna go back and sweetly she's gonna curl up in his arms and fall asleep. Come on, think back when you were a
They're going
14-year-old
bone
boy.
zone.
Our parents
a
aren't.
14-year-old boy.
Our parents aren't home. I'm going to their bedroom and I'm gonna.
A 14-year-old boy. Come on, think about that. I mean, even me as a 14-year-old girl,
I'm thinking about
come
it.
on.
Mm-hmm.
14-year-old girls do too. I mean, yeah.
There may not be like full on boning, but like there'd be
There'd be some
something.
making out.
Some heavy petting.
Yeah, at least some making
people
out and heavy
getting handsy.
petting. Yeah. So, I mean, what the hell was that? I mean, that was like, it was like, okay, saccharine. That didn't even need to be part of the movie. It again, it's a teenage angsty thing.
Yeah,
that they
there's a
kinda
lot
forced
of
little bit.
this that could have been just condensed or cut out entirely.
Yeah, and more of the Sanderson sisters in there. What did you think about Penny and Gary Marshall making their debut or a debut in the movie?
The
the
Satan and
The devil
the
and his
housewife.
wife, Medusa.
Oh,
You didn't recognize Penny Marshall?
I didn't recognize her. No.
She was. That's who they called Medusa.
With
She was the wife.
rings in her hair.
Yeah.
Those are curlers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Gary and Penny Marshall.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God,
No reaction.
John! I thought that was just a fun little thing, considering they were brother and sister. They played a married couple, but
I liked it.
they were fun.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were fun. I didn't recognize her as any. She looked familiar though. I was like,
it was Penny Marshall.
where do I know? I know you.
Those
Where do
Kmart commercials.
That was Laverne. What are you talking about? It's
Yeah.
Laverne.
yeah,
Just aged myself. Hey, I
right.
watched it in reruns, so I'm not going to age myself that much.
that's fine. Anything else?
So you want to talk about the ending? Before you get to numbers, we got to talk about that ending.
Yeah.
That whole going through the gates of heaven, like montage.
Oh, when they went through the
Oh,
I didn't really think of that. I was just I was looking forward to the end of the
end.
movie. At
Yeah,
that
I was looking
point.
forward to the movie
once
being
the
over.
once the sisters died, it was like, okay, I'm done. I mean, really, they
Yeah.
were the highlight of the movie for me.
Same. Yeah.
The highlight. But I will give. I was saying the
I
little
didn't even
kids.
put that together. That's-
What?
The Danny, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Little gates of heaven,
the gates
walking
of
through the
heaven.
gates of heaven. That's kind of
Yeah.
the sun in the background and the big gates. And
Yeah.
Oh shit.
they're the only ones. But okay, how is Thackeray Binks a ghost and he still touches Danny? How the hell does that happen? He's non-corporeal. He touches her hand,
Yeah.
and then kisses her on the cheek. What the hell?
What if he just didn't? He could not literally touch her. He just like hovered his hand like
No,
right
she put
there.
her hand in his.
Well, right, but
Right, but how do we know there was actual skin to skin
He
contact?
kissed her on the cheek.
Right, but he could have just
like kiss the
symbolically.
air. Yeah, symbolically,
Right.
like right, like the
stretching.
membrane of air, like
Right.
right, next
And
to her cheek.
You
Because-
talk about stretching.
Well, but think about this. I mean, in some cultures, like when people are greeting each other, like they'll kiss the air next to your face, like they don't actually
It's
kiss
very
your
French.
face.
It's
you
very
know?
French.
So maybe we don't know that there was definite lip to cheek contact on that kiss. So it could have just been a, like we said, a symbolic thing.
Still stretching.
Yeah, we're right now.
It's still stretching. But yeah, that whole. I mean, it got. Like I said, I love the movie, but the ending was just. I was like, really? Yeah, the saccharin was my. I think I just became diabetic at the end of that movie.
Well,
just 'cause-
and also with the whole like hallowed ground thing, Bette Midler fell.
Yeah.
And she still could get up and crawl and whatnot. Like, wouldn't she have hit the ground and like disintegrated? or
no,
something?
it wasn't immediate. That's why she turned to
It was
stone.
the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hallowed ground
Yeah.
turned her to stone,
Okay.
and,
And then
the
she blew up.
sunlight.
Okay,
The sunlight blew her up. That's why Mary and Sarah blew up.
right.
But-
Which, by the way, I loved the lasers when they blew up. There was like those lasers.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that backdrop from like when you got like
The
yearbook
pictures of school pictures.
Yes, yes.
It was like it's the 80s
Yeah.
laser backdrop.
Yeah. I think I have some pictures like that. Yeah. They were like the most expensive buy-up picture.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think I'm done. Like I said, I love the movie, but yeah, there's
Yeah.
parts of it I'm like,
Yeah.
we're going to fast forward through that. But yeah, you definitely need to make a drinking game out of it.
There's got to be one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm sure there is.
You can always make up your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time they say the word virgin, Tina takes 2 shots.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
My favorite game is always the mustache game.
The mustache game?
Yeah.
Oh, tell her about the mustache game.
Tell me about the
So
mustache game.
when I first started playing this, like years and years ago, it started off as each player took a piece of Scotch tape and you take a Sharpie and you draw a mustache on it. Somebody will draw the Hitler. Somebody will draw us Snidely Whiplash, and you draw your own unique mustache and you put it on the TV. Nowadays, Amazon, you can buy packs of like mustaches, like costume mustaches, and the adhesive is generally safe for your TV. You put it on the TV instead. When someone lines up with your mustache,
take a drink.
Everybody else drinks.
Nice. So if you don't want to drink, you put it up in the top corner.
Well, it's usually the left third or the right third of the TV because most blocking will line up there. Rarely, but I've seen it happen. You put it one right dead center of the TV. It's hilarious when someone lines up with that. If they have a mustache already, or if they have a beard with a mustache, it's a double shot.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That game's evil.
During the holidays, you can buy adhesive Santa Claus hats.
Yep, and you put them on the top corners.
Exactly.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah. That one I've seen. You could do it with reindeer antlers too, like in the middle.
I've never,
TV.
I've never done that one.
Yeah.
We may have
to do that.
even
like a reindeer nose, like somebody lines up and.
We may have to do that with
your holiday one,
yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe we do Patch Adams and we do the little red nose. You guys do Patch Adams?
I've never played Patch Adams before. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Patch Adams is such a good movie.
Oh yeah. I think
Incredible
I
movie.
think it's one of. Well, it's hard to say one of Robin Williams' best, but
Yeah.
There's so many.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's. Oh, okay, make me sad now. Oh,
All right.
amok. Okay. Done.
All right.
Numbers?
Yeah.
Number time?
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and witches of all ages, you may be wondering, what are these numbers of which you speak? Well, they are numbers on our website, casualmovieclub.com, where you can see how we've rated all the movies that we have watched for your listening pleasure. So, what?
What?
Tina's looking at me funny, and I don't know what.
I'm just listening.
You were throwing me off my game.
I'm sorry. I'll look away. Don't look at me. You're such a diva.
Shut up. All right, so things like the acting. How well did the actors convey the story? How believable were they? Did it seem like they were just on the screen reading lines that they memorized the night before, or were we transported into a magical, mystical land where they came alive? The script. How well was the dialogue written? Was it believable? Was the story any good? The presentation, the editing and visual effects usage, was there too much? Was it over the top? Not enough? Copious amounts of green screen? Things like that. Then the sound element of things. The soundtrack as a whole, the sound effects, the score, the music, the goodies for your ears.
Now he's looking at me. I looked away.
Then the uniqueness. Has this movie been done before? Have we seen something similar to this from that time period or earlier? So movies that have come out after this do not count. And then the engagement factor. Does this movie keep you engaged, or would you rather be weeding Twitter?
All of these categories we rate out of 5.
Right. And Tina, being the guest, your numbers will count.
Oh, goody. I get to bring this up above the craft, so.
Yep. So
And knock,
No
knock.
matter what, it's going to be above the craft.
And knock, knock.
yeah, we need to figure out. We need to find a movie that's going to go below the craft.
I can help you with that.
Oh, I know. Well, you suggested The Room, so
I actually saw that. So after you suggested that, I saw it come up on a random website that talked about The Room being a horrible good movie.
It's phenomenal.
yes.
It is
hi, Brian.
so
Yeah.
good. Oh, hi, John.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, hi, John. You're my favorite customer.
Okay. All right. How about Tina? You start us off. What did you think of the acting?
So this is where I'm conflicted because, again, the witches were amazing. Like, they were amazing. But then you've got your teenagers. I thought the little girl that played Danny was good.
Yeah.
She was obnoxious,
really good.
but good.
Well, yeah, she was supposed to be obnoxious.
Yeah, the character was obnoxious.
Yeah, but then you got the teenagers that just, like, brought it down. It was just, ugh. So, I'm going to be generous with a 3 just because of the witches.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go right after you here, and I'm gonna agree with your 3 because I agree with the. You're off to a good start here.
Hey,
I agree with the fact that the witches were fun and I enjoyed the trio, but there were the kids were just.
Yeah.
Brian, how about you? What'd you think of the acting?
I've said it already. The witches turned in a phenomenal performance. Loved it, top to bottom, start to finish. Great. The children, the little children, even the little sister in the beginning, Emily, good performances. Loved them. Teenagers, of course, I agree with you guys that they brought it down.
Yeah.
You guys are forgetting about the parents. The parents, they didn't have a lot to say. They didn't have a lot going on, but they brought it down. They brought it down a bit for me also.
Okay.
But I gotta say, I disagree with your scores. For me personally, The Witches brought it up to a level that's made this movie worth watching. So I'm gonna give this acting a 3.5.
Okay.
Close. I mean, it's
Close.
not completely off. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parents did bring it down, but I think the zombie actually brought it up because I thought he was actually really good.
I did not like the zombie.
Really?
I didn't like it as far as what they did with it, but what he did with the character, I liked.
Yeah. And
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yes,
yeah.
I thought the zombie was totally unnecessary.
Oh, yeah.
But if I had to have the zombie, I would want the zombie to do everything that he did.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, Brian, while you're in the hot seat, what is your score for script?
The script is not that great to me. I wasn't really very offended by everything that the script put out there. The story was solid. It was a decent story, but it didn't really blow my hair back. It felt like a typical standard kids, teenagers overcoming adversity, blah, 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 family values. Script was fine. I give it a 3 even.
Okay. Well, for me, the script is a 2. I thought that some of the dialogue was cheesy. I mean, the whole movie was tacky and hokey and whatnot.
Tacky.
Yeah.
Tacky's a little...
Yeah, tacky's a little harsh.
Yeah. It's on the cusp of tacky and hokey. That's about as generous as I'm gonna give it.
Yeah.
Maybe... No, I'm sticking with my 2.
So I'm kind of in between you guys. I agree with Brian. Like the script writing, the level of the dialogue, and the jokes that were there were cheesy and obvious.
Dad killer.
Dad killer. I mean, come on. Or the creepy bus driver. I mean, it reminded me of like high schoolers trying to write their first play.
Yeah.
So the script writing was not anything that was professional level.
No.
I mean, some of the jokes, it's like they had 2 different script writers. They had a script writer for the Sanderson sisters, and then they had script writers for everybody else.
Yeah.
Because the lines of the Sanderson sisters, I don't know if between Bette Midler and Kathy Najimy, if they came up with some of their own lines.
I would think
and
some
I
of that
think
was
they
ad-lib.
probably did.
Yeah.
Because they're actually both pretty amazing at doing that.
Yeah.
But it's like 2 sets of screenwriters, so it's like a high school level play. So
that's a good analogy.
I kind of want to go in between you guys, and I'm going to say a 2.5 on the script.
There were 2 screenwriters.
Yeah.
There were 2 screenwriters. My last thing I want to say about this, it felt like, imagine lesser actresses delivering the witch parts, and then tell me that the script isn't more than it is.
But see, I still think Kathy Najimy and Bette Midler ad-libbed a crap ton out of it.
I don't think
Sarah
so.
Jessica Parker did too.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Man, I could be wrong.
If I remember,
it didn't feel like ad libs to me.
I don't think the amok was actually in the script that way.
I don't think so.
I'm thinking that one was one of the ones that was
I've
actually
never
ad-libbed.
seen the script at
Yeah.
all. But
I remember somewhere that one was added in. The 3 of them, and I should actually give Sarah Jessica Parker a little bit more credit, but
I thought she was phenomenal in this.
She was. I just don't like her as an actress outside of a role like this where she plays the ditz.
Yeah.
But I think the witches, they were so good in spite of the lines they were given. They added to those lines.
I agreed.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so low on the script writing.
Okay. Well, Tina, while you're in the hot seat, why don't you give your presentation score? What did you think of the visual aspect of the movie?
So this is hard because it was 1993. So in today's standards, the visuals were crap. Okay, we'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, the believability. And I guess the thing that is probably the most disappointing for me is that you have Disney and you have one freaking character that is a damn cat.
Yeah.
Disney can do better than what they did with the damn cats. I mean, Jim Henson did better with a cat with Muppets
Yes.
than what they did in this movie. That killed me. The lasers, the sparks, all of that, the fire, the green fire, all of that. I get it. It's the 90s. That was okay. That was fine. The cat bugged me.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was Disney and they have better animatronics in the damn park
Yeah.
for multiple characters than they had in this movie. So it bugged me to no end. So I'm like at a 2.75 just because of the freaking cat.
Okay. I like that. So, Brian, how about you? What's your score on the visuals?
I love the cat. I thought the cat was great.
He was awful.
No, have you seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the show, the TV show?
Yes, I have.
That's terrible. That's a terrible cat.
Yeah, no, I would rate that even lower, but this was a terrible cat.
I thought
and they had Disney's bankroll and capabilities, and that was the best they could do.
I thought the cat was
Jim Henson was
fine.
still alive too.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
This cat was they digitized his mouth to it wasn't a puppet. It was digital effects.
Yeah,
Poorly
but
done.
Very poorly done.
Man,
And I mean, some of the times that,
Standing alone here.
yeah, you are. Some of the times the cat didn't even look like. I mean, it like when it was laying there and he was dying at the end of the movie.
Oh well, yeah.
It didn't eat. No, it was
dying cat.
horrible. It was horrible.
It was horrible for me emotionally.
Oh,
seeing-
whatever. It was not.
Seeing-
You were happy to see the end of the movie.
Young Thackeray suffer, such as it was.
Poor Thack. He's about to give the presentation a 4.
It was a
No,
thack attack.
no,
Okay.
not a 4.
Okay, there we go.
Thack attack. Most of the effects I appreciated. The practical effects of the witches flying I thought was well done. I thought that was great. The only, let me just tell you the issues I had. That'll be a lot shorter list. The witch smoke above the kiln as it came back into the chimney.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't really a big fan of that. The lasers coming out and the sparks, it wasn't offensive to me. It wasn't great, but all the other effects I had no problem with whatsoever. At all. The Bette Midler's or Winnie's lightning, her force lightning,
Yeah.
which I thought was all really believable and just well done.
Well, and honestly, I'll give the actors credit. The timing on that
it was
with
really
the
good.
effects,
Yeah.
it paired up correctly.
It was
So
good.
That was
Yeah.
good.
There was a couple of green screens I saw when the car chase scene was happening. Winnie did not look good at all flying alongside that car. Back
No.
to the Future did that far better.
Yeah.
Yes, and when Sarah Jessica Parker is singing to the kids to call them,
Yeah.
you could totally see she was on a soundstage in front of a wind machine. You know,
Yeah.
like it did not look like she was flying at all. You know, there was no
Right.
stars in the sky, no like nothing whizzing by her. It was basically like the other two witches were flying, and you could tell it was believable. She was off in a soundstage somewhere singing, with the implication that she's flying with them.
So to sum it up here, there's a handful of things that I didn't like. I thought looked really bad.
Yeah.
Everything else I thought was, oh, great, this is of the time, and it looks good. I thought the cat's mouth movements was fine. I thought the cat was great. I want to score presentation a 3, even.
We're gonna have to disagree on the cat. I'm sorry. John.
I'm going to keep things moving. Presentation 2. I did not like the effects. I did not like the lasers. I thought the cat looked amateur.
Ha!
You know,
The
I
lasers
thought that I'm going back to you, Tina, going back to your analogy of it being kind of a bad high school play. It's like that seemed like what their budget was, you know, instead of professional stage crew designing sets, it was done by like some parents with duct tape and, you know, and cheap plywood. So
Hot glue gun.
You know, yeah. So, you know, like that cemetery set looked awful.
Oh.
You know,
That was dollar store tombstones.
Oh yeah, dollar store tombstones and like
made out of
and
cardboard.
astroturf, like fake turf. You know, it was just this was like I would dare say this was like probably the lowest budget Disney movie I've ever seen
For special effects, yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
have to
Disney
agree.
Disney can do so much better, and they have earlier than this.
Yes.
You
they
know,
have.
we don't do internet research, so I couldn't name any movies, but I know that I've seen Disney movies that came out earlier. Yes. There you go. E.T.
Is that Disney?
I don't know if it.
Oh,
They
shit.
Own,
I think
they
it's...
own it now, but
Oh, yeah, they own it now.
But-
it might be
But
Universal.
I would be...
maybe I don't remember.
I would be...
Even then, E.T. did better effects than this,
Well,
regardless
yeah.
of who did it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
10 years earlier.
Right. So you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, Disney was capable of doing so much better at the time, but they didn't deliver. I'm going to continue on with music and sound. I really liked the sound actually of this. I liked the I thought the mix was fine. Nothing bothered me about that. I liked some of the music in there. I really liked the score. I've never heard of the guy who wrote the music for this. It's at first when the music started in the very beginning, I thought it was Danny Elfman. It sounded a lot like Danny Elfman, but this was written by a guy I've never heard of. So for me, music and sound is a 4.
I would echo that. Like not just the score, but the effects I thought were really, really top notch. All of the spells that they were spelling.
Yeah.
All of the magic sound effects I thought were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
I'm right there with you on the 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to hear Bette Midler sing, and I adore her.
That
when
was a
is she-
great.
I
It was a
adore
great
her.
number.
Yeah, it was cool. When has Bette Midler been in a movie where she didn't sing? Has she ever been in a movie where she hasn't sung?
Oh,
She's been I don't think so, but I mean, that's her thing.
yeah.
Why would you have Bette Midler and not have her sing?
Exactly. Well, did she sing in Ruthless People?
I never saw it.
I think she was part of the score. She may not have sung in the movie, but
Okay.
she was part of the score for that
That's
movie.
a funny movie. That is a funny movie. Yeah. We gotta do that. Anyway, okay, cool.
First Wives Club too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 4s across the board for music and sound. Uniqueness. Brian, what do you think Tina thinks of uniqueness?
Uh-oh.
Well, I can't speak for Tina, but speaking for myself,
This is a smart married
I'm
man
gonna
here.
say there's a lot that this movie reminds me of. The teen angst. Even E.T. has a little, even though Elliot's a little kid, he's a little angsty, he's a little pushbacky against his parents. His parents are getting divorced and all that. That's a whole different movie. But there's a lot of recurring themes in this film that I've seen in other films pre-1993. But it is a fairly unique film on its own also. Off the top of my head, I can't think of another Three Witches style kind of movie like this. So just because I can't think of it doesn't mean there isn't one out there. But this movie feels very unique to me, so I'm going to give it a 3.5.
See, I'd rate it pretty high too on uniqueness. Some of the themes, young teenage love, the virgin screwing something up, that's theme of movies Shakespeare wrote that crap. Hello, Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
It goes back even further than that. Hello, Caligula. So that's kind of a human.
Yeah.
It's a human theme. But the uniqueness for me is the fact that, for one, it is a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't go for the scare factor. It's non-animated family film, and the witches, yes, they're evil and they're kind of ugly, but it's presented in just such a different way. I think it is pretty unique as a whole. There's parts of it that aren't, but as a whole movie, I think it's pretty unique. So I'm gonna give it a 4. Actually.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
I am going to give the uniqueness a 3.5 as well. I like I like what you both had to say. I can't think of anything else that was similar to this that came out from that time period or earlier, but there were a lot of those tropes that we've seen, in other movies. So engagement factor. So how drawn into this movie were you? Let's. How about I'll start with this because I think I'm gonna. This was a tough one for me because I was trying very hard to stay engaged, but I was also taking a lot of notes, which you both reminded me of. Yeah, I type faster than I write, so. What?
Nothing.
They're both looking at me really funny right now.
He's such a diva. Don't look at him when he's speaking.
Shut up. Engagement factor for me is a 2.
I'm looking at you.
I know. Engagement factor was a 2 because it was a struggle for me to stay connected to it long, at any given point. It didn't do it for me. Tina, how about you?
So, I think I've mentioned I like this movie a lot.
So you're giving it a 5.
Actually, no.
Okay.
Because I've seen this movie so many times, I don't have to pay attention to it, but there are pieces of it that I tune out on and I wait for certain scenes. So the amok, I was looking forward to, and then the Bette Midler, I put a spell on you scene. Mainly, there's certain scenes that I looked forward to that pulled me back in. Yeah. But when those scenes weren't on, I was like, meh. Yeah. I mean, that's where it needs to be a drinking game.
Yeah.
So I'm a 2.5.
Oh.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And Brian, why don't you finish us out? Give us a happy ending.
Oh,
well, I can't.
Do I need to leave the room? I'm near the door.
I cannot give you a happy ending because my engagement factor, as much as I've lauded this movie, it is not engaging for me. The witches were probably the best thing about this, as I've said multiple times already. It was a struggle to stay engaged when the kids were on screen, when the kids were going through their things.
Angst.
I oohed when you said your score because 2.5 is also my score.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can tell you that on subsequent rewatches, on additional rewatches, I can tell you that my engagement would just only drop.
Yeah, mine did.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've seen it so many times. I'm looking for specific scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, are the numbers in, or does anybody want to do a take backsies?
Nope.
I'm good.
All right. So the numbers are in for Hocus Pocus from 1993. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, we have 3 of us contributing numbers. So here they go. Acting 3.17, script 2.5, presentation 2.58, music and sound 4, uniqueness 3.67, engagement factor 2.33, for a grand average total of 3.04.
Oh!
Which puts this above above Drop Dead Gorgeous. And below Inside Man.
As long as it's above Knock Knock.
It is.
Yeah, I know it is.
So Knock Knock is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down.
It can go further down.
Wild West is below that. Speed 2, Cruise Control is below that.
Yes.
The Room, The Craft, Blues Brothers 2000, Scooby-Doo, those are all below that.
How is The Room not below The Craft? I still don't get that.
But you love The Room.
I love The Room, and I think that's what it is. I gave the uniqueness such a high score.
Yeah. But The Room actually has 2 So the acting and the, what is this, music and sound for the room are ones.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you see the score for the script?
Oh, 0.63.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But the uniqueness of 4, or the engagement factor, I think, or the uniqueness, is what brought it back into the 2s.
Because I'm always engaged. This movie comes on, I am just drawn in. I cannot look away.
Yeah.
It's a train wreck.
My,
It really is.
my phone vibrates. I just don't look at it. I throw it away.
It really is a train wreck. Like, that's probably the best way to describe it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I love that movie so much.
So I mean, I guess anybody who's listening that wants to watch Hocus Pocus
I
the
would.
first time,
Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it to see it, but for the first time, watch it normally, and then anytime after that, make your own drinking game if you're above drinking age.
Yes.
It makes it so much more fun, and sing along. Like,
Yeah.
just get drunk enough by the time I Put a Spell on You comes on, which is about halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Make sure you're nice and toasty, so you sing at the top of your lungs and dance around the room to that.
Yep.
You will love this movie if you're right there with that.
And I'm gonna say, even though I gave somewhat harsh scores, I'm gonna say I recommend it also, because I think the fun factor is totally there. You know, it's quotable, it's sing-alongable. You know, if you can look past the stuff that we shat on during the podcast, then it's really a great movie.
Yeah, I would also recommend it. It's a versatile movie in that if you've never seen it before, watch it. You can watch it by yourself. Any viewing after that, I would recommend having it on the on the background while you're doing housework. I say this all the time: folding laundry, doing things around the house. Just have that on, listening to it.
Yeah,
it's a good party movie. Also,
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So next week, what are we doing?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to pick one, or do you want to do a surprise?
I think I'll do a surprise movie.
We haven't done surprises, so you do a surprise next week. I'll do a surprise the following week.
All right. Well, Tina, anything else you want to add?
I'm just surprised that, the three of us actually agreed so well on the scores.
We did.
I have a feeling the next time I come on, it may be different.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And by the way,
traveling mailboxes.
But yeah, by the way, I always like to look at this too. So, in order of who liked the movie the most, Brian actually scored the movie the highest.
I knew it. Yeah.
Tina was in second
way.
place, me in last place. So Brian, your total average score was 3.25. Tina, you were 313. I was 275.
Yeah.
I'm not too surprised.
Felt that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I liked
I honestly figured that you and I would be the top, but
I thought you would be too,
Yeah.
but I really liked it.
no, I love this movie.
Yeah.
And speaking of things I really liked, I loved having you come on the podcast
thank you.
today.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for coming on.
Tina, it was so great having you, and I cannot wait to have you on again.
So if anybody makes comments, be nice about me. Be nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Of
sensitive.
course.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then I guess we can sign off, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.